alternating side lunges. So we're going to start with our feet about hips width distance apart. Make sure you've got some space to either side of you. All right. From here, you're going to step out with one leg, keeping the other leg nice and straight. So you're going to take this nice big stance, and then with the leg that just moved, you're going to sink into it, sending your hips back, keeping your knee over your ankle pointed in the same direction as your toes. This leg's going to stay nice and straight. You'll feel a stretch through your inner thigh. Start to step back. And then you'll just go to the other side, step out, sink into that side lunge, lift up, come back to center. You'll just keep alternating sides here. Remembering, don't bring your knee too far forward. Really think about sending the hips back. You'll start to feel that a lot in your hamstrings and glutes, especially when you go to press up. All right, push-ups to mountain climbers. You can do this from your knees or from your toes, the push-up. If you're feeling any crunchiness in your lower back as you move through these, especially as the reps get higher and you get more tired, that's a good sign that you need to go down to your knees. So definitely don't want to be feeling anything in the lower back. You certainly don't want to be feeling it tomorrow. So for a push-up, I like to start at the bottom. All right, so I lie down on my stomach and I bring my hands underneath my shoulders, tuck the toes under, press back into the heels, engage the legs to lift the knees. So from here, with the crown of your head, the top of your head reaching forward, your elbows are squeezing in. You're gonna pull your belly button in and lift up in one piece to the top of the push-up. Okay, so the push-up to mountain climber, squeeze the elbows in, lower down to a push-up, come up, bring the knees in, pop, pop. So down, in. Okay, so what we don't want to see is booty up here. We definitely don't want to see booty down here. Okay, so booty down here is a recipe for low back issues. So at that point, you'll drop down to your knees. So from the knees, it's the same idea. Reach the crown of the head forward, bend the elbows in towards the body, press up, and then bring your knees in. And then drop your knees down for the push-up, and pop your knees forward. Time to take it up with a little bit of power in the squat jumps. So I'll turn sideways so you can see this movement. Set up your feet so that they're a little bit wider than your hips, probably closer to shoulder width distance. And then you want to take your toes, and instead of having them point straight ahead, you just want to click them out just a little bit. So not all the way out, just slightly. Okay? Then you're going to squat down into a squat position. Okay? Bring your arms behind you. You'll find out why in a second, because you'll need them. All right? So you're going to squat down, sending the hips back and down. So hips go back and down into the squat. Arms go back. And then for the jump, you're going to throw your arms and your hips forward at the same time to send you up in the air. Okay? Really want to be important to point out here, you really want to land softly. So make sure you're landing with a bent knee as you come down. That way you're not like really jamming those knee joints. All right? So let's show that again at the right speed. Squatting down, up, up. Crab toe touches. All right, this is sort of a throwback exercise to elementary school field day, only it's a little twist that's a little more fun. So we're gonna bring the feet out in front of us. Take a good distance between them and bring the soles of your feet down to the ground. And then bring your hands behind you so that the fingers are pointed towards your toes. So from here, we're gonna press up. So pressing into the feet and pressing into the hands to lift the tush off the ground. Couple of things to watch for here. Don't sink into your shoulders. You're gonna start to feel it right here or even in the front of your shoulder. If you start to do that, especially when you get tired, the tendency is to sort of dip into it. Really keep pressing down into the ground to stay lifted so that your shoulders come away from your ears. Other thing you want to look for, if you're hyper flexible in the elbow, you'll know it because you're one of these people that comes up and it looks like your elbow bows in like my arm. Want to put a little bit of a micro bend in the arm as you're doing this. That way you can help protect that joint. It's going to feel a little bit tougher in terms of effort because you're using more muscle and not relying on the integrity of the joint, but it's better for your joint long term. So back to where we were, press up, like we're gonna do the crab walk, remember that? So the next thing you're gonna do, once you get into this position, you're really pressing down into the ground, is you're gonna bring one opposite arm and opposite foot up to come up in the middle of your body. So just lifting up and then the other side. So press up and back. Just switching sides, okay? Again, watching that arm, watching that elbow.